Ever feel like just bombarded with info about TBI? Well, buckle up because today we're taking a deep dive into how it can totally reshape someone's behavior, even if, they look fine on the outside.
We're going way beyond that whole bump on the head thing. We're
Uh-huh.
going to uncover the nitty-gritty science behind these invisible changes.
So get ready because this deep dive is all about arming you with those aha moments that'll totally change how you see and approach TBI.
We found this super fascinating study, Causes of Behavioral Changes. And let me tell you, it is jam-packed with eye-opening stuff.
It is.
Like, it really hammered home how TBI goes way beyond just the physical impact.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. I mean, someone can seem totally recovered from a head injury on the surface, but
Right.
underneath, there can be these massive changes happening, like in their behavior, their mood, even their whole personality can be different.
It's wild. And the study, it mentioned something about frontal lobe damage, right?
Right.
If the brain's this well-oiled machine, TBI comes along and chucks a wrench right into the control center.
Exactly. We're talking about the part of the brain that's basically in charge of, like, impulse control, reading social cues, empathy even. All those things we kind of take for granted until
Oof.
gone. Yeah, until they're gone.
Like, imagine just trying to decide what to have for lunch.
Yeah.
Seems simple enough, right? But for someone with frontal lobe damage from TBI, that can be totally overwhelming.
Absolutely.
Their internal control panel is just fried.
It's not working the way it used to. And, it gets even more complex because then you have the impact of TBI on neurotransmitters.
Okay, gotta admit, neurotransmitters always sounded kind of scary to me.
It's really not that complicated. Think of it this way. They're like chemical messengers in our brains.
Okay.
Little couriers zipping around, carrying important messages between different parts of the brain.
Okay, I like that.
And TBI can mess with those couriers. Take dopamine, for example.
Yeah.
That's your brain's reward system. It makes you feel good when you accomplish something.
Right.
Well, TBI can disrupt that whole system. Suddenly, it's harder to feel pleasure, motivation, things like that.
Wow. So it's like someone flipped a switch.
Yeah.
And the things that used to, like, get you going just don't have the same effect anymore.
Kinda, yeah.
Wow.
And then there's serotonin. That plays a huge role in regulating mood, sleep, even digestion. And disruptions to serotonin, well, that can lead to anxiety, low mood, sleep problems.
All of which can really affect how someone behaves, obviously.
Exactly.
And you know what really blew my mind in this research? It's not just about the messengers themselves. It's about the pathways they use, the actual connections in the brain.
Oh, absolutely.
That's what TBI can damage too.
Yeah. Imagine those couriers trying to navigate a city after an earthquake. Streets are blocked, bridges are out.
Chaos.
It's the same with TBI. Those damaged connections make it so tough for different parts of the brain to communicate effectively.
So let me get this straight. TBI can mess with the brain's control center, scramble the chemical messengers, and damage the communication pathways.
That's it in a nutshell.
Triple whammy. But why? Why is it so important for us to wrap our heads around all of this? Why should we care?
Because it all comes down to empathy, right? And support. When we understand that these invisible changes are happening, it helps us approach our interactions with a lot more understanding and patience.
Makes sense.
So instead of judging someone for being irritable or having an emotional outburst,
Yeah.
we can remember, hold on, this might be their brain struggling to function properly.
That is such a good point. And another thing that really struck me from the study was how TBI recovery is not one size fits all.
Not at all.
They talked about pre-existing factors, right?
Right.
What do they mean by that?
It means that everyone's different, right? So individual history, personality, even genetic predispositions, all of these can influence how a brain injury actually shows up. Like someone who is already prone to anxiety might find their anxiety goes through the roof after a TBI.
Wow. Makes sense. But I never thought about it like that.
Yeah.
So it's not just about, understanding TBI as this general thing, but about understanding the individual person and what they're going through.
Exactly. Every TBI story is unique. That's really important to remember when we're interacting with people who are navigating these, invisible injuries.
This deep dive has been, honestly, eye-opening. We've learned that TBI can really impact behavior on so many different levels.
Yeah.
From, like we said, disrupting the brain's control center to messing with those crucial chemical messengers.
Right.
It's a lot.
It is. But like you said, understanding is the first step.
Right.
Like now it's up to us to use this knowledge to build a more supportive and compassionate environment for everyone who's been touched by TBI in whatever way.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
And to our listeners, keep an eye out for more deep dives coming soon. We'll be back before you know it.